All right, today we are diving into a pretty wild theory, one that suggests our entire picture of the world, our history, even our geography, is completely wrong. And it all hinges on one single mysterious map.
So let's just jump right into the core claim. What if that globe you spun as a kid, the world map hanging in your classroom, what if it's a total lie? Not just an innocent mistake, but a deliberate deception designed to make us all feel small, isolated, and completely disconnected from each other.
The story goes that history had, well, thieves. And they didn't just steal gold or artifacts. Nope, they stole reality itself. The idea is they artificially stretched the oceans, creating these massive empty voids to hide entire continents and to break the ancient bonds that once held a unified world together.
Okay, so if our map is a fake, what does the real one look like? This brings us to the absolute heart of this whole thing. The one artifact that proponents say is the key to unlocking this entire lost history. And here it is. This is the Tabula Veritatis, which means the true map. Just take a second to look at it. It's kind of familiar, but at the same time, it's profoundly alien, right? Continents are way closer. There are new land masses we've never seen. The whole thing just suggests a totally different planet.
But get this map is way more than just a different drawing of the world. The theory claims it's the master key. And the lost treasures it points to, they aren't gold and jewels. They are the actual nodes of an ancient planetary energy grid.
So let's break down what we're looking at here. You see this land called Mu, and it's connected to a northern Eden. Continents are crisscrossed by these, quote, etheric flight paths. Even biblical ideas like the four corners of the earth are shown as real, nearby places. And right at the top, there's this hidden true Eden at the magnetic north.
So you have to wonder, who lived in this incredible, interconnected world? Well, according to the source material, it was home to a super advanced civilization that had completely mastered free energy. This was the world, before everything got reset.
And their power source? This is where it gets really mind-bending. The theory suggests that what ancient texts call the mountains of God, they weren't places for worship. They were massive, high-frequency power plants, mountain reactors that beamed out limitless, clean energy for the entire planet.
So what do you do with all that power? You travel. The theory talks about these advanced aircraft called etheric gliders. They would just tap into this energy grid and zip between continents in a few hours. I mean, think about it. The kind of distance we know, it just wasn't a thing for them. And you can bet a civilization like this had some serious protection. We're talking about a planetary defense shield, an etheric security grid that guarded its heartland, the true Eden. The source material even claims that the biblical fire from heaven wasn't some miracle. It was a defensive blast from this very system. And if we look back at the map, you can actually see how it all fits together. The locations of these mountain reactors, they form a global network. And then way up here in the north, you've got the protected true Eden, shielded by these energy domes, the command center for the whole shebang. So, an advanced global society, free energy, incredible technology? I mean, it sounds like paradise. What could possibly go wrong? Well, according to this theory, everything. A cataclysmic event didn't just end this era, it literally buried it.
But before the collapse, man, there was a golden age. The sources call it a 1,000-year era of peace. You might have heard it called the Great Tartarian or Pyramid Era. It was supposedly a time of total unity and prosperity, all running on that free energy grid.
So the big question is obvious. How does a paradise like that just fall apart? How did we go from that high-tech, unified world to the one we're living in today?
While the theory lays out a very specific chain of events. First, this evil force called the Deceiver is let loose. Next, it sabotages the mountain reactors, causing them to overload. This massive energy surge literally liquefies the ground, triggering a catastrophic planet-wide mud flood that just buries everything. The old world is gone, and the timeline is violently reset. And they say the finality of that moment is marked right here on the map. This spot is called the J timeline point. It represents that cataclysmic reset, the exact instant the golden age was severed from our history, buried under who knows how much mud, and just erased. So that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the world that was created after this reset. If the old world was completely wiped away, what was it replaced with? What is the actual nature of the reality we're all living in right now?
The sources call our current reality the dull code. It's described as a kind of lower frequency reality, a simulation almost, a repeating loop or a lie that was installed after the cataclysm to keep all of us disconnected and totally unaware of our real history.
And when you put the two side by side, the contrast is just, wow. You had the true reality, a high-frequency world connected by ether with free energy for a unified people. And then you have our dull code reality, a low-frequency lie defined by massive oceans, scarcity, isolation, and divided nations.
And this really is the central accusation, isn't it? That the thieves of history deceive the nations, not just with ideas, but with a fake map, hiding the very existence of places like Mu and the true center of power in the north.
And that brings us to the bottom line. The ultimate claim here is that the greatest deception wasn't just hiding some land on a map. It was hiding our entire history, our forgotten technologies, and a level of human potential that was deliberately buried and suppressed.
Which leaves us with a pretty heavy question to chew on, doesn't it? If any part of this radical theory is true, you have to wonder, beyond gold or lost cities, what knowledge, what potential, what true version of ourselves might be buried down there, just waiting to be rediscovered?